Hello and welcome to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Edikat Michael. A quick reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276, free to air at Nikam Sat. President Bola Tinubu has arrived at Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital, to participate in the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of the African Union Heads of State and Government. The meeting is slated for February 14 to 18, 2025. The Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, disclosed this in a statement he signed. And our forensic analyst, Babagana Musa, from the Office of the National Security Advisor, has testified before Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja, stating that the mobile phone belonging to the suspended Dean of the Faculty of Law, University of Calabar, Professor Cyril Ndifon, was empty during his forensic analysis. Babagana, Chief Superintendent of Police and second defense witness, was summoned to give evidence in their case brought against Professor Ndifon by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. Ndifon and his lawyer Sambo Lanyawu are facing a 4-count charge on alleged sexual harassment, cybercrime, and an attempt to prevent the course of justice. And our Minister of Interior, Tunji Ojo, has stated that the denial of a visa to the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, by the Canadian High Commission was disrespectful to Nigeria and Nigerians. His comment came in response to remarks made by the CDS, who had revealed that he and other top military officers were scheduled to travel to Canada for an official assignment, but were denied visas. Musa described the visa denial as a reminder that Nigeria must stand on its own, stand strong as a nation, and ensure it is no longer taken for granted. And our fire has destroyed the Gwabawa local government area office of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Sokoto State. And this was contained in a statement signed by the Commission's National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekan. According to the statement, the fire was reported by the Administrative Secretary in charge of the state office, Hawa Kangiwa. And on both the academic and non-academic staff of higher education institutions in Nasarawa State, under the aegis of joint unions of Nasarawa State tertiary institutions, have embarked on a warning strike over the non-implementation of the 70,500 minimum wage approved for workers in the state. The staff of the institution also lamented that they were yet to benefit from the earlier 30,000 minimum wage consequential adjustment and promotions as approved for other government workers in the state. The joint unions noted that the poor welfare packages and lack of promotions of the institution staff necessitated the addition to down tools. And our investigative committee recently set about the National State Government to look into matters relating to recruitment across schools in the 13 local government areas of the state, has uncovered 2,277 illegally employed teachers by the State Teachers Service Commission. This discovery follows several rumors of recruitment scandals on the Commission and the state government suspension of officials of the TSC to allow for a smooth investigation into their dealings. And as our State Governor Abdullahi Sule said, the suspended TSC officials had not been fair to the state because they went overboard to recruit 3,277 teachers instead of the 1,000 as approved by his administration. And out to Imo State, as the police command says, it is taking significant strides in enhancing insecurity by organizing a capacity building training for its personnel. This initiative, in line with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, Kaude Bertukun Hems, to improve operational efficiency and strengthen officers' response to emerging security threats. Amar Chibe now has a report.
At the Mobile Police 18 headquarters in Owerri, the state capital, officers from various divisions and formations gathered for an intensive training session focused on modern policing strategies. Declaring the training open on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Imo State Commissioner of Police, CP Aboki Danjuma, explained that the training is designed to sharpen officers' professional skills, improve intelligence gathering, and enhance community engagement for better crime prevention.
Selected the best from all formations. If we are here, we selected no less than 5 from each divisions and from each area commands and tactical teams. And I believe people have started since yesterday. And I'm going to declare this training on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetekun.
CP Danjuma reminded the officers that their primary responsibilities is to protect the lives and properties of the people, admonishing them to maintain professionalism while discharging their duties.
When are you justified to use your firearms? Please, if you do live here, know when to justify your firearms. These firearms, you are not going to use it on innocent citizens. You are going to use it to defend the innocent citizens. We witnessed so many attacks on divisions. That is why we call for this training. And after this training, as I said, we are carrying the fight to the insurgency in their hideouts.
As security challenges evolve, Imo State Police Command has restated its commitment to equipping its personnel with the necessary skills to keep the state safe. With this training, the command is confident that policing will improve and community trust strengthened. In Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching a live broadcast of News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital. When News Cycle returns, U.S. approves the extradition of 2008 Mumbai attack suspect to India. We have those details from the world of business as well as that of sports and foreign segment for you. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us. And on to business. The federal government says its partnership with Google is set to transform Nigeria into a global technology hub. The Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, Inowa Kashifu, said this in an interview in Lagos, where he said the partnership is focused on infrastructure development, scaling of citizens, AI, innovation, cloud adoption, and investment framework. He further said the partnership aims to create an ecosystem that will power Nigeria's digital transformation. And I'll head to Cross River State as Governor Basio too had expressed excitement over the federal government plan to transform Obudu Cattle Ranch into a major hub for livestock and dairy production in Nigeria. Speaking to the Deputy Governor Peter Odei during a CAT visit about the Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Maya, Otu said that Obudu's favorable climate and a rich biodiversity and vast land mass were key advantages for the large-scale livestock farming and dairy production. Earlier, the minister acknowledged Nigeria's 33 trillion livestock industry, noting, however, that it remained vastly under-utilized. And now the federal government has announced plans to establish a special security unit dubbed Power Rangers to protect the nation's electricity infrastructure. He explained that the new unit will be comprised of officers from the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps and tasked with preventing the vandalism of power installations across the country. Amid the rising cases of power outages caused by the vandalism, the minister said the government recognized the need for a sector-specific security solution. The Central Bank of Nigeria has assured the public that Keystone Bank Limited remains stable and fully operational despite a court order forfeiting the bank's shares to the federal government. In a statement issued, the CBN's acting director of corporate communication, Hakama Sidi Ali, acknowledged concerns over the development but maintained that there was no cause for alarm. She stated that the stability of the banking sector and the safety of depositors' funds remain the regulator's top priorities. Now head to the foreign scene as U.S. Congressman Scott Perry has said that the USAID agency, United States Agency for International Development, funded terrorist organizations, including Boko Haram. Perry, a Republican representing the Pennsylvania, made the claim during the inaugural hearing of the Subcommittee on Delivering on Government Efficiency. According to the subcommittee's website, it will actively work with President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency to root out West shores of vulnerable payment systems and fully investigate schemes to defraud taxpayers. Around 10 laborers were killed when their vehicle was hit by a blast from an improvised explosive device in southwest Pakistan. Salim Tarin, another senior government official at the same district, said that the laborers were traveling from the work site to the market for shopping at the car game on the attack, noting that it was an IED blast. Another group has claimed the attack. However, the Baloch Liberation Army frequently claims deadly attacks against security forces of Pakistanis for provinces, notably the Punjabis and Balochistan. On the foreign scene, Pope Francis was admitted to hospital in Rome for tests and treatment for the bronchitis. The Vatican has announced the 88-year-old who has been breathless in the recent days had delegated officials to read his speeches, was admitted following his morning audiences. The Vatican stated he was hospitalized at the Rome's hospital for some necessary diagnostic tests and to continue treatment for ongoing in a hospital setting, it added. The United States has approved the extradition of a suspect linked to the 2008 Mumbai terrorist attacks in which over 160 people were killed. President Donald Trump made the announcement during a joint press conference with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the White House. Although Trump did not initially name the suspect, a subsequent joint statement from both governments identified him as a Pakistani origin, Chicago businessman and Canadian citizen. President Zelensky said to meet U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance in Germany with a warning against trusting Russia's Putin has concerns mounting the Kiev and among its European allies that the Ukraine war will be settled over their heads. The Munich Security Conference starts days after U.S. President Donald Trump and Putin held watershed talks that have shaken Ukraine and America's NATO allies almost 2 years after Russia launched its full-scale invasion. And President Trump said he had agreed with Putin to soon start Ukraine peace and talks and exchange friendly visits. And I'm moving over to sports. Pep Guardiola admits his Manchester City team are not as comfortable in position as they used to be and that they lack the physically to compete with their Premier League rivals. City have dominated English football for most of the past decade with a position-based style that chokes opponent, but they have slipped from their stellar standards this season. The Nigeria Football Federation has overturned the Nigeria Premier League decision to deduct 3 points each from the Bendo Insurance and Nassau United. Bendel Insurance had initially been fined and penalized with a 3 points and a 3-goal deduction following the crowd double during their league match against the Kano Pillars at the Wembley Stadium, Benin City on November 11. And now following this ruling, Bendel Insurance move up from 15th to 9th place now with 32 points and plus a goal difference. Similarly, the NFF reversed the point reduction against Nasarawa United over incident in their home fixtures against Rivers United on December 22nd. And that's a package our news cycle. A reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365 on Star Times, channel 276, free to our Naked site.